everybody. Well, it's been a few weeks, but we are back with a brand new episode of the John and Wendy Show. I am the John portion of that title, the outlaw John Rocha, here with the great Wendy Lee Zaney. How are you, Wendy?
It's been forever.
Yeah.
It's been, I think 4 weeks,
Yeah, I think
since
4 weeks. Yeah.
Wow. It feels good to be back. I can finally talk for longer than 10 minutes without triggering this dry cough
Yeah.
that has been amplified since COVID.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. I've always had this ever since I moved to California is when the dry
Mhm.
cough started because it is a drier climate. I'm used to
Yeah.
more like humid climates, Florida, Taiwan,
Right.
super humid. So I developed the dry cough in California. And like, I've always thought this too in the back of my mind. I said, if I got COVID, I guarantee you my dry cough would be way worse. Sure enough, it was so bad. Dustin was like, do we need to go to the ER? I was like, oh, stop it.
Wow. Were you
Yeah.
coughing up
Because
blood or anything? Or is it just kind of
no,
consistent? Oh, okay.
it's
Okay.
consistent and it sounds terrible to somebody who isn't experiencing it. Like, it literally sounds like I'm gonna like puke from coughing. It's terrible, but it's just like there's a one spot in my throat that just feels like it's dry and it tickles.
Right.
And drinking water actually doesn't help it, so I need to actually do like a throat lozenge as soon
Okay.
as it. So now I have like 50 of them in my purse at all times.
Right.
And if
Wow.
I take one of those, and Dustin watched me the other day, and I like popped one in my mouth, and I stopped immediately. He's like, "It's immediate." I was like, "I think I know how to deal with my dry cough, thanks." So I know it, but I appreciate the concern because he was very concerned. He's
I'm
like, "You should call
sure.
your doctor."
I'm sure.
I'm like, "No, it's fine." I was like, "I'm not dying, I promise."
Yeah. I mean, we should definitely that's why we've been away for 4 weeks, because both of us have been dealing with this COVID shit. How crazy that we both got it within days of each other.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny how that all kind of worked out in a certain way. I don't know. I don't know where I got it. I don't know how I got it.
Where do you think you got it?
I mean, maybe the HCAs, because that was still within the 14-day window. But I'm not sure.
Everybody had to test negative in order to go.
Yeah, so it's usually 5 or 6 days, isn't it? So I don't know. I think maybe I got cocky and walked into a McDonald's or a Starbucks or something and didn't wear my mask, because I was starting to not wear my mask to go into these places for like a little bit of time. And I think that's what somebody must have had it or whatever, or must have been in the air. And
somebody may have coughed into that area
as I was walking by, or I had just left the area. Right, exactly. So now I wear it everywhere. And I know the doctor's like, "Oh, you're untouchable now for 90 days." Or
yes, we're not allowed to get the new booster for 90 days.
Yeah, and then he was just like, "No, you can walk in here. You're not going to get it again. Just walk around." I'm like, "Yeah, fuck you. I'm wearing the damn. I'm not." No offense. He was really great. He was fantastic, and the medication he prescribed to me during my battle with bronchitis was so essential to me getting back on my feet. Because I mean, I shouldn't have done shows. I shouldn't have done anything, and you start to feel a little cocky in the Paxlovid.
I was kind of mad at you. Can I just admit that on air? When you're like, I'm gonna go do shows, and I was like, I really think you should rest. You're like, no, I gotta do. And I knew there was no talking you out of it. Like knowing you, and
I know
you're very if your mind is if you feel that motivation, that drive to do something, you don't let yourself be convinced otherwise. And I was like, well, maybe Lady Outlaw will talk him out of it.
Well, she was out of the house taking care of the puppies at
That's
her sister's
right.
place. That's how I got away with it. Yeah. Oh, she would have shot me if I tried to do it while she was here.
I forgot.
Let alone multiple shows, because one day I did 2 shows at this.
And I was very surprised.
Yeah.
I couldn't handle one show after I still hadn't cleared yet. And obviously we do all the shows virtual. And I did Pop Council with Jamie Philbrick, and the brain was not catching up with the mouth. So I was talking and I'm like, what am I saying? What am I saying right now? What was the question?
Yeah.
What topic are we on? But that was during when I was sick. So afterwards I was like, no shows. 0 shows. I told JB, I was like, I couldn't think straight. I don't know what I was saying.
Yeah.
He luckily saw, I think, the vacant expression on my face, and he picked it up. He's like, I gotcha.
Well, I think that's why. I mean, like, shutting it down for a whole week for 7 full days, I think was so essential during the bronchitis stuff. It was hard. I mean, there were so many trailers, all the missing out on D23. I mean, I couldn't have picked the worst 2 weeks to get this thing. and probably cost the channel a lot of views. But in the end, like, you can't do anything about it. It happened. You
Yeah.
got to roll with it,
Yep.
and you know, like, kind of figure things out. And so we're back up and running. We're doing content more, but also, like, I realized, like, I'm pushing too hard, and I need to kind of pick my battles, pick the places, and be okay with taking a couple hours to myself. Like, all these things that I've been kind of feeling guilty about in the past, now because of what happened, I have a completely different mindset about it all, because you know, it was essential to I didn't know how much sleep you actually needed in life. Like, it's amazing how much sleep I got in 2 weeks, when I could sleep, rather.
Yeah. Oh, right. Right.
Because
Yes.
you're it's out, it's, you know, a couple hours of pocket, but then, you know, you're struggling, and then boom, you're asleep again, and struggling, boom, you're asleep again. So, but my the Lady Outlaw deserves a medal for dealing with my madness of it all, because I was just wrecked emotionally and wrecked physically throughout it. And she took care of me, made every meal,
Oh.
made sure I was taking
So
the
she didn't catch
vitamins.
it at all?
Yeah, I know, it's amazing. Well, because we quarantined me here, and of course we have the house, so she
Right.
was able to stay pretty far away in the living
But,
room
like,
or
you
in
were
the bedroom.
contagious prior to your symptoms
I
showing,
know,
so,
I was
like, she
really
must have a hell of
surprised.
a
Yeah,
immune system.
yeah, you know, because, you know, we kiss, we make out, we do whatever. And so it was a pretty big surprise that she
Yeah,
didn't
like,
get it.
Dustin couldn't escape it.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
was like, maybe just,
yeah,
you know, like, he's boosted and vaxxed,
right, right.
you know,
So
and
were
he had
we.
all the Pfizer, but yeah, I had the Johnson and Johnson from the
Right.
very beginnings, and he's had the 3 doses of, or 4, I don't know how many, of Pfizer. So I was
Yeah.
like, maybe, you know, like, that one, it's nope, still got
No.
it.
Yeah, for me, it's the Moderna. I'm all Moderna, and still, it just kind of wrecked me for a whole. I mean, the Paxlovid helped,
Yeah.
but I think the Paxlovid gives you a false sense of security, because you go through 3 or 4 hours where you really feel like you're 100% again. It's crazy how the Paxlovid
Really?
tricks you. Yeah, it really does. Which is
I
why I did
really
the
wanted it.
shows.
I really wanted it. And the doctor said, "Oh, you're healthy, so you don't qualify." I'm like, "I have COVID. Doesn't that qualify me to get this freaking medicine?"
Yeah, it tricks you, because I mean, the first 2 days are rough, even
Yeah.
when you're taking it, and then the third day you're like, oh wow, there's like a 3 hour window here where I feel really good, and then you kind
Oh
of
my
slip back into it,
gosh.
and then the fourth and fifth, and that's what the fifth day I was like, oh man, I'm good, I'm good, and then I did a show, did another show, and then I did that wrestling show, and then did a watch along right
In the
afterwards.
same day
In
you
the
did
same day,
this?
which was really stupid. That was like 4.5 hours of content, and I was destroyed afterwards, and I knew I fucked up. There was like a moment where I screamed about something that happened in a match, and I could feel my body go, yeah, just slide, like all the good things just fly right out. Like in the Doors when Jim
Oh
Morrison sees those Native
gosh.
Americans dancing around on stage. That's what
Oh
it felt like. My spirit had
gosh.
left my body, was dancing around stage, going, "See you later, motherfucker." And
Oh
sure
no.
enough, man, I was wrecked the rest of the day, and then on Sunday I woke up and I was destroyed. And I called my girlfriend, and she was amazing. She drove back over here, took me to the urgent care. We saw the urgent care person for the first time, and they gave me some stuff. Oh
Mm,
no, the doctor. We saw the doctor, because the first urgent care got me the Paxlovid. The second doctor,
mm.
when we went back again for the bronchitis stuff, he was fantastic, because he'd been working in an ER for 16 years, so he dealt with the
Wow.
COVID stuff over the last couple of years. So he
Wow.
gave me some great advice, and the medication he prescribed me, the 1-2 punch was so good to get me back on my feet. So, but it was, you know, touch and go for a few days, and I had to order shit from Target to be picked up by my girlfriend. Like, it was
Uh-huh.
crazy. So
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
There
nuts.
was a lot
Anyway,
of curbside drive up grocery store runs that
yep,
Dustin and I both had to do because like we felt bad. Like the neighbors were telling us that, you know, like, oh, we'll do whatever, you know,
yeah,
food, whatever. And we just felt bad. So
yeah,
we would, you know, Target drive up, they just put it in the trunk. Ralph's
oh
drive
yeah,
up, they just put it in the trunk. That's what we
yep,
did.
yep,
So it's like cause like I wasn't so terrible that I couldn't function.
right, right, right.
Like on paper, I think both of you and our symptoms are mild.
Yeah, well,
You know what I'm saying?
I guess. I guess if you don't end up in the ER, it's mild, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It
So like
felt
on
pretty.
paper, yeah, I like you had the
Yeah,
fever, the
yeah.
body aches. I didn't really have trouble breathing. I wasn't so congested. But
Oh,
what felt as you were.
yeah, I was. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's why I told you to get the
big time.
Mucinex.
Oh, I did. I took the Mucinex 3
Yeah.
times a day. I was taking the Mucinex every 4 to 6 hours, Wendy. I was taking it, and the Nyquil, at night. Yeah. So I was trying to hit it from
Jeez.
all the angles possible.
Yeah.
But 7 days sucks. But I mean, there are people who go through it for weeks. So
Yeah.
and
So
then
I
have
think we're
residual shit for weeks. So yeah.
yeah. So now we've both tested negative. When did you clear?
I cleared just before I got the bronchitis. No
But
bullshit.
how many
Like
days since
it was
diagnosis?
7 days after the
You
diagnosis.
did clear 7
I
days.
cleared.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't clear until day 10.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. I got cleared at the urgent care center. Like the doctor tested me for COVID while he was also looking at my symptoms for bronchitis. And he was like, you don't have it anymore. You're clear. I'm like, holy shit. So this makes no sense. So it was like rough. But I wasn't the only one because Matt Nost, who's the co-host of the Top 10 with me, he got it as well a few months ago and got bronchitis right afterwards as well. So it's not something that's unusual.
How do you know if you have bronchitis? Just curious.
Really? How do you know if you have bronchitis?
I don't think I've ever had it. So
it's massive congestion here, so much pain, and you are just coughing up yellow or green stuff.
Oh no!
Like, all the time, and it is rough. It is rough.
Oh,
you're absolutely exhausted. You can't. I mean, it just walking to the.
It sounds worse than COVID.
It kind of feels well. I don't know, but like walking to the kitchen exhausts you. You know, like I was consistently working out again for the first time in years for about a month and a half before COVID, and now I haven't worked out once since COVID because I've been a little afraid to kind of test it. But I'm stronger now.
Do it slow. Don't.
Yeah. Like
don't try to deadlift like 300 or whatever. I don't know if that's heavy or not. I don't work out. I don't lift. I mean, I work out, but I don't lift. Right.
But yeah, so yeah, the bronchitis can be real scary because I mean, I had walking pneumonia years ago as well, and that's the worst thing I've ever had. Walking pneumonia was like.
Is that worse than bronchitis?
It's like
bronchitis sounds really terrible.
It's like 300 pounds sitting on your chest, 24 hours a day. That's what it feels like. And it feels like people have taken baseball bats to your body all day. Like it just feels that way.
Oh, hard pass. No, I don't want that. Yeah, you don't want I honestly, and I see you guys in the comments, so I want to get to the chat in just a second. But
yeah.
I never want COVID again. I know my experience wasn't nearly as bad as some other people's. I know it wasn't. It was seriously mild. Like if you look at all the just on paper, the symptoms, fatigue, some body aches, fever, light congestion, and just like uncomfortable. But I will say, like, I was a really sickly child. I was in and out of clinics all the time. I had fever all the time. So getting the fever part freaked me out because I had been in Taiwan, like in clinics on a drip because of the fever. And I felt so uncomfortable one day during the fever. And Dustin was still trying to quarantine. And he's like, what do you want me to do? And I was like, I don't know. I've taken Tylenol. I can't keep taking it because it's bad for your liver.
Right, yeah.
You have to keep drinking water. But I was so hot. And I was like, the AC was on, the fan was on night. And I was like, I need to bring this temperature down. It never got past 101.
Oh, that's good.
The fever. I worked
97,
really
98.
Hard. Yeah. I like worked really hard. I was like, it is not getting past 101 because I don't want to go back to the clinic. Right. And so I said, can you put a bunch of ice and Ziploc bags in a ice chest and just put it by the door and I'll grab it. And I just like ice bag on the chest and the neck, on the forehead, on my lower, like I was just like, let's go, cool it down. And I just had K-drama going all day.
See, I'm an unusual guy. I cannot watch shit when I'm sick. I can't. I marvel at people that can watch. Like I was able to watch movies every once in a while, but I could not watch a whole season or that because I have to pay attention, and that takes energy, and it takes physical energy from my body because I experience the worlds of these people, and so it becomes a visceral thing, and so it exhausts me to watch a show sometimes.
I mean, are you trying to watch some shows that are like more? I was watching Bridgerton.
I was trying to watch Severance.
That's not a show you watched on COVID.
I know, you're so right. I should have watched Friends or some shit.
You should have been watching some reality TV. Like that is what Keeping Up with the Kardashians is for.
That's a good point. I did watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I did.
See?
That was my morning for sure.
Easy shows to digest that'll help take your like happy shows, fun shows, not like, I watched this Taiwanese horror film called Incantation.
You watched a horror film and you're trying to school me on what I should watch.
Well, I was like, okay, let me I'll be so scared that it'll take me out of like thinking of how bad I feel. And I was watching it. I was like, this is very uncomfortable. It took me 2 days to finish it. Mr. Yasman300 said, I watch Seinfeld. See,
Yeah,
that's what we
Seinfeld.
should have been watching.
Yeah, no shit. Seinfeld is
Yeah.
the one you go
That
to.
reruns of Friends, just like familiar stuff. That's why I was like,
Yeah.
let me just watch Bridgerton. I did rewatch Inventing Anna.
Oh,
That was good.
what is that? No, I watched some old westerns. That's what.
Oh,
I
there
did.
you go.
Yeah, that was helping my spirits watching some old westerns and stuff. So yeah.
Nice. Hey, let's go to the chat real quick.
Yeah, who do
Because
you
we
wanna
have
bring?
the very first comment in the chat room, Mr. Mike Shea. Sorry that we took forever to acknowledge this. Thank you for the 200 cheers.
Oh, thank you, Mike.
Thank you so much. Love you guys. Have a great show. It's great to be back.
Thank you, Mike.
Mike also said he was sick. He said
Michael
he
said
also had bronchitis after having COVID. See, it's like a thing.
Mike is one of my I dare say one of my friends and one of my patrons and one of the supporters of the Outlaw Nation. He certainly started the Outlaw Nation Facebook page. So I love Mike to pieces. And when I was going through the tough spots, I would reach out to him and he would give me some nice messages. So I very much appreciate
sweet
Mike's thing. So yeah, it was
love
great.
That. Thanks,
Thank you.
Mike. Brennan Marr is also here. Says I've miraculously haven't gotten COVID. Brennan Marr, I hope you never get it.
Yeah.
I hope you never get it. I hope it never touches your space ever.
Yeah, because I mean, Brennan's got that condition, and Brennan said very clearly if he gets this thing, it could be really scary for him. So yeah, I mean,
yeah,
do not get this.
Knock on wood, don't get it. It's also like super uncomfortable, even if it's mild.
Exactly. Yasman wants to know what Western films I watched. Magnificent Seven, High Lonesome, which is an awesome Randolph Scott Western. Man of the Gun or Man of the West, which is also a nice Randolph Scott one. I also ordered from Kino Lorber the Man with No Name trilogy in 4K, and those came, so I was able to watch those. Those were about $23 each, so there's a nice little sale there for the 4K version of those. So pretty cool stuff. Ronan says somehow I didn't get sick after Star Wars Celebration. Neither did I, Ronan. Neither did I. I was walking in without masks in certain places. So
a lot of people got sick from that one.
Yeah, I know. I was really surprised.
I boosted myself right before 2 weeks before. I boosted myself.
Yeah, because
for those of us who had J&J, my doctor's like, you can get another one. I was like, all right. He's like, but don't get J&J. And I was like, well, I can't because they stopped it. So
I hate that I can't get boosted. I hate that it won't let me get boosted. I want to get boosted.
You still have the antibodies in your system, though.
Yeah, it's true. I do.
You want the booster to prolong, so if you get it, you want to get it like around Thanksgiving time.
I want a hazmat suit is what I want. I want a hazmat suit that I can wear legally in other stores, for God's sakes. Let's see. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Let's get into the things here. We're going to talk about our. Yes. So that's basically what we're doing. Wendy, is there anything else we want to say before we get into these stories?
Thanks for waiting for us, I guess.
Yes.
While we recovered from COVID, it was really, really hard. Like John and I would text all the time. We text at least once a day, and we would be like, let's do the show. And then the coughing thing was such a sticking point for me. And I'm like, how am I supposed to talk for an hour when I'm coughing in people's ears? Like, I don't want to, and it's uncomfortable for me as well. So we just kept pushing. And finally this week, I was like, let's do it. But we had to move it to an earlier time, 12 o'clock today, because I have a screening for the Banshees of Inisherin.
What?
Yes.
Shit.
I'm so excited. I watched the trailer and I'm like, yes.
Damn it.
It looks so good. Barry Keoghan is in it too. Oh.
Yeah. I did a trailer reaction for that one. It's about 5,000 views. Good. I was really surprised it got that many. So I want to see that movie. They're already doing screenings. Balls.
It's early because it doesn't come out until late October.
I know.
So I bet you this is just like the starting point, and then they're gonna
San Diego. I mean, I'm telling you right now, this week has been some tough FOMO about not living in LA because I was invited to see Avatar at the studio, 3D on the lot. I was invited to see something else on the lot. There were so many screenings. There's some great small independent films that are getting screened in LA this week. So like, I almost was like, I'm just going to go and stay at a bed and breakfast for 5 days and just go to all these screenings. But of course, financially, that makes no goddamn sense. So
I mean, if you want to come crash on, we got an air mattress here for you, bro.
You guys had COVID. I can't be going in no COVID.
You think we didn't super clean?
No, I'm sure. No, I
There's
know you. I
buckets,
know
there's
you super
buckets
clean.
of Lysol wipes and disinfectant all over this house.
What's that stuff? What's that machine that like buffs the floors? I think you use that on the walls. You probably used it on the walls. Oh my god. Yeah. No.
I was cleaning while I had COVID. I was like, what's the point?
No.
I was like
Oh.
aggressively wiping things down.
Oh, my girlfriend cleaned the entire house every day. She was, because she's so paranoid about getting this, man. She cleaned the house every day.
I would be paranoid
sure.
too if I was her. Shoot.
Like the kitchen, everything in the
high touch areas. Yeah.
Yeah. If I even wandered into the kitchen, she was coming in later. So it was hilarious to me.
Puts on her mask.
She did. She had her mask on the whole time. Oh yeah. Oh,
good
please.
For her. Good for her.
We even set up a little system that she would bring the food and set it outside in the chair like I'm some prisoner, and I would have to go and get the food off the
That's
chair.
how me and Dustin did it until
until
he got it. Then I called the doctor. I was like, well, the husband got it. He's like, yeah, you don't need to quarantine from each other. I was like, so what if it's not the same strain? Wendy, you're fine.
Yeah.
It was totally the same because he tested positive 2 days after me.
Oh.
So it was like by the books, what I had 2 days before he would get. Like it progressed. He also cleared on the 10th day. Like it's insane.
Yeah. Wow.
It's clearly the same strain.
Yeah, true.
Omicron.
Very true.
Anyways.
Yeah. So yeah, but Wendy, you should tell people your website has gone live in the month that we have not been doing the show. Tell them where they can go to the website and read articles from you now.
Yeah, thank you. I've been working really hard on it, and I wanted to. The whole point, like, so here's the thing: is I bought the Movie Couple domain like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's just been sitting there because I didn't want somebody else to have it. So I bought it amongst other things. And I was like, I really should do something with it. And I said, what if I have it just as a landing page for our videos? And I was like, but do I want that? Because, there's YouTube, but it looks prettier if you have the URL. That's themoviecouple.com. Right. So then I decided, let's go big or go home. So I made it a whole thing, worked with, WordPress, which is something I've never done before as far as websites goes, because I have another one, geekandglitter.com, but that's Squarespace. Right. And they make it so easy. I can't tell you how many times I cried trying to build this website by myself and like asking our web designer friends, I'm like, what is this? And then they would text back. It was all jargon. I'm like, this is alien. What is this? What does this mean? Awesome. So, the goal was to get it up and running before D23. Right. And I had COVID, and it was really hard to focus on building on anything, but building a website during COVID. But I got it up, and it was live 3 days before D23. So I was able to update the Marvel panel like live from the panel, except that the internet was so terrible that the next day I didn't do it because.
Wait, what is it? Is it themoviecouple.com?
Themoviecouple.com.
Okay, keep going. Sorry.
So yeah, it was a really great experience. I mean, I look back now, but I'm glad I pushed through and learned it. And I'm still, there's a lot more to learn, but the support is really nice. Oh, thanks, Rocha.
Yeah, it is.
That's the website. It's still a work in progress.
Very clean. I like that it's clean.
I need the aesthetic to be super clean. The ads aren't on there yet, and I'm worried that, like, yes, it's going to make me the money, but I'm worried that it's going to ruin my pretty aesthetic. So, like, if you click on it, if you go to, like, continue reading on that Strange World.
Here. Yeah.
Yeah. And then on the bottom of it where it says continue reading.
Yeah. Oh.
There you go.
Yeah,
so that's essentially what it looks like, and that's what I've been working on. That was from the press day.
Look at that.
Yeah, at Disney.
Family is at the heart of Strange World. Yeah, there you go.
It is. Yeah, it's great. I can't wait for that movie.
Was this were you in person for this, or were you virtual?
Yes, it's the first press day in person. I was in a recording booth. Oh God, I should have texted you. So I can't release the footage of that yet. That part is still under embargo. I can just show a photo. But we were literally able to like learn how to do a voiceover for one line and how dubbing works for animation.
Yeah.
And like, I just trying not to fangirl the fact that I'm standing in the same recording booth as literally every single Disney movie that's been made.
Yeah. I have been in this recording booth.
Oh,
I told you years ago.
Yes.
For Moana. I did the scratch track for The Rock for Moana through my agents at the time at William Morris.
Yeah.
I submitted a audio file that was an imitation of The Rock. And so they gave me the job. It was like $250. It was nothing. But I got in there and was able to be directed by the two guys who did Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast for just the scratch
Alan
track.
Menken?
Yeah, no.
Oh, no, he's the composer.
Yeah, he's a composer. The two older directors, they were there because they wanted to hear what it sounded like. And so me and this young woman, we were doing the back and forth that Moana and, oh, God, what's her name? The character's name in the movie.
Moana?
Moana and Demigod. Who's the demigod?
Maui.
Maui and Moana and I we were just doing it back and forth. So, and they used that to pitch The Rock to do the show, to do the film. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, that's awesome. You're in that booth. That booth is so cool. Did you see any animation or anything like that, or was it just pretty sparse?
We saw a scene that we got to obviously dub over, but there were presentations as well, like not in the recording booth, but in one of the, because we were in the animation building, which is the Hat Building.
Yeah.
And we had a presentation with the directors and the producer of the film. So Don Hall and Qui Wen and Roy Conley, and then the head of animation. So they talked about like the story building and the character and what drives the story. And then the animators came in and talked to us about the environment, because Strange World, it's, you're thinking like Atlantis, you're thinking like generally to the center of the earth. And it's such a crazy world where everything is not what it seems and everything is alive.
Wow.
The amount of like work that they put into this is insane. And even some of the stuff that we saw were unfinished, and they let us know that they're like, we're still fine tuning this. So, but they brought some stuff to show us, and it just looks really cool. Like the color you can see right there. Yeah. It's very distinct, very vibrant.
Yeah. So cool. All right. There we go. So go visit that website.
Yes, lady. Thank you very much. And to somebody said they left a comment. Fatal the Baptist, thank you so much. So yeah, that's the website. And then WordPress, I think, is technically free, but you have to pay for hosting.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that you pay for. I don't remember how much it was. I just kind of covered my eyes and I was like, let's just do it. It wasn't super expensive though.
Yeah. Well, you already got ads on the page. How did that happen?
It's still work. I don't have ads yet.
Oh, okay.
Google hasn't approved it yet.
Oh,
It takes like 2 weeks. Because like when I first submit it and they do like a whole check of the website, it told me that I had, some indexing issues. And I was like, I literally don't. So I resubmitted again. So I'm just waiting to see. And if it doesn't work out, then I have to contact Google, which I don't want. So, yeah.
The whole thing. Wow. Okay. Well, there you go. Well, let's get into some of these stories here.
Yes,
people have been hanging out, waiting for us to talk about this stuff. We wanted to catch up with each other and with you guys. So thank you very much for allowing us to do that. So, let's talk about it, Wendy. Andor came out this week, the first 3 episodes. If people want, the Geek Buddies spoiler review is up on the channel with Laura Kelly and the Geek Buddies. We did it live last night. So if you guys haven't watched that, I'm sure Wendy has reviews up on her channel for every one of the episodes and all the stuff going on with Andor. And then She-Hulk dropped yesterday as well. So where do you want to start? Thoughts on both of these things? What are your feelings?
We can go in alphabetical order, which would make Andor first.
Okay, sounds good.
It is. So I am a fan of Rogue One. When the movie came out, I was one of the first people to be like, do we need the origin story? I don't know. But I love Star Wars. So I was like, well, let's go in and see. And I ended up loving it so much. Yeah. Despite the fact that we know what was going to happen with these characters.
Right.
I was just into the world building, the risk that everybody had to take to form a rebellion and to fight and to save the world that they really believed in, worth saving. And I was fascinated by Cassian Andor because we didn't really get much about him, honestly, in Rogue One. We just kind of got him as he is. So what led up to him being the way he is, and how did he essentially join the cause?
Right.
And I love Diego Luna. So I was like, Andor, I'm in. And I remember seeing the trailers and I thought, wow, this looks super cinematic. It's one of the few Star Wars projects, I think the only maybe Star Wars show on Disney Plus that's not really using the volume.
Yeah,
It's
it's not
actually
using
being
volume at all. It
it's
does not. It's
using
not going to use
yeah,
volume at all. Yeah.
and you can tell, and it has
Yeah.
that cinematic Star Wars feel. It is dark and gritty, and like I love the Jedi and I love space fights, which I'm sure we will still get to see a lot of dog fights in this
Sure.
eventually. We got to
Yeah.
build up to it. But I kind of love that right now there are no Jedi involved,
Yeah.
that there are no Easter eggs. It's just a, origin story of like Cassian, who he is,
Yeah.
and how he gets to where we see him in Rogue One. I am loving the story. It's dark, gritty. Dustin calls it like dirty Star Wars, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. What do you think?
The Jedi.
The
Yeah, I
Jedi.
mean, I'm a big. I love this. This is the John Rocha Star Wars. This is 100% what I've been saying since 2015 when I first got in this business and co-hosting Far Far Away with Tiffany Smith. I said I'm so desperate to have a Star Wars that is ground based, that is ground level, that is gritty, that is dirty, that is grungy, that is about what it's like to actually exist in a world. Everyone's having these highfalutin battles about philosophy. We're down here just trying to live, just trying to survive from the repercussions of whatever battles you guys are having way up there in space. These planets, we're just trying to survive. So seeing that the way it is so good. The real world connections that it has, there's some police brutality references. There's also this idea of the migrant life. And certainly Diego Luna said that in that Vanity Fair article, that this is very much a migrant story. And he works for the UN. He volunteers there for the UN. He's a spokesperson for the UN for refugees. So he's very keen on that story. And so what we're seeing here is a refugee story, a migrant story, what happens to him. And there's a lot of really great dramatic stuff, right? Because I mean, what happens with Marva and him, what happens with some of the characters in him, what we hear about him. To me, he's the new Han Solo. He's a scoundrel, he's a rogue, but he's aimless, and so here's these Stellan Skarsgård's character coming in, and what that, I don't want to spoil anything, but what he does to try to give him a little bit of purpose, a little bit of aim. So it's a really fun, enjoyable, dark, exciting, and for me, very like I'm glued to the screen, and I love the endings. I love the Rain Blade Runner noir vibe to it. I love the interactions, the acting, the writing, the way they're fleshing out the world and constructing the world, because almost all the planets that we go to are new planets. So they've never been in Star Wars universe before. So it's great to see them having a chance to kind of flesh all that out and tell this story. And it's a fascinating story. It's very complex. And I enjoy the hell out of it. And I know I've seen episode 4. Can't wait for people to see episode 4.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Yeah, it's so good.
So
and then I can't wait to dive into the rest of the season for sure. Yeah.
It's the buildup is so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. And I know some people would like some of the criticisms that I hear about people, like, what they think about the show is that they say it's not enough action or it's boring. And I feel like certain projects don't need to have a lot of action right from the get-go. And sometimes you need it. Action is good. I love action. But for this specific story, we're telling the story of, this is the start of the rebellion. Something that we, this is pre-Rogue One, pre-Galen Erso, trying to figure out, the Death Star situation. And we're going to get an inside look at, and I'm not saying he's in the show, but just as an example, like Bail Organa, right? What he's been up to, and how deeply intertwined, and who do you trust and who can't you trust? And again, not saying that he's in the show, because so far he hasn't been, and I don't feel like they don't really necessarily need to have him. Maybe a mention of the name, because obviously he's a prominent figure in the rebellion, but they don't need to rely on that, because it takes so many people to fight the Empire, and that's what I like. And to see like Andor in literally the first 5-10 minutes of the show, episode 1, and really not having a thought, and knowing that, like, oh crap, I accidentally killed one of these officers, and this other one is telling me, well, going together we'll admit. I was like, don't trust him. And he knew what he had to do. He had to make that decision, and he did it. And I was like, dude, this character is so cool. Like, I'm not saying murder is cool, I'm not saying that, but just in that flash of like, there's just the decision making was so precise. Like, I have to do this, and then he has to deal with the consequences
Yeah.
afterwards. The paranoia, they're gonna come for me because they're gonna find me for sure. And then the deep undercover of like he's really from Canary,
Yeah.
but even Marva was trying to protect that. Like, we cannot tell people the Empire cannot hear a word of this because
Right.
you're a surviving, living, resident of Canary, where it was literally like a mining accident
Yeah.
that happened there, and it's so there's just so much about this story, and
Yeah.
I think this is exactly why we're getting 12 episodes
Mhm.
plus a season 2.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
can't wait. I mean, I'm seriously just so much to enjoy. And I know, and I totally respect people's criticisms if it's too slow or if they're not into it. It's all a subjective thing, art. And so these Star Wars shows, some people really love Book of Boba Fett. Some
Hmm.
people think there are no filler episodes in The Mandalorian.
Hmm.
I think there are. And so for me, these first 4 episodes are, and 4, because I've seen the 4th one, are the greatest pieces of content Star Wars has produced since Disney purchased them. I tweeted that and I meant that. And I think by the end of season 1, that's going to be even more cemented in my mind. I just have this feeling, because that speaks to me. And I love the Mandalorian and I identify with the Mandalorian, but like this story is a story I know. I mean, I'm the son of immigrants. I know this story, this idea of what he's going through, and so it connects so deeply for me. So I can't wait to see more of it for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait to see more of obviously Andor because it's his show, but
Yeah.
also Luthen, who played by Stellan Skarsgård, is such a cool character. Just you guys wait. Just
So's
you guys
Bix.
wait.
I can't wait to see
is
what we get with
great.
Bix. Right?
Bix is great. Love her. And there's just a lot of those moments where you're like, this is the cost of rebellion and war and the Empire. Like, like it was so cruel to watch her being handcuffed.
Yeah.
In Ferrix, when they all came into town to try to catch Andor, and they it was weird that they targeted her. They're like, "You look scared, girl." I was like, do you not see everybody else running around? Why are you targeting just her, right?
Yeah.
And they freaking handcuffed her to the stairs while her boyfriend is laying on the ground bleeding.
Right.
And she couldn't even. I was like, this is awful. So it really sets up to like the Empire and why some people really truly hate them, but also a look into people who are working within the Empire who really do believe in what they're doing is good.
Yeah.
Like our character Kern.
Yeah,
And
Kern.
oh my gosh, yeah,
So
and just like the two officers going back and forth and kind of, I'm not saying they're inflating egos because I really didn't see it that way. I think they're just really truly believing in they are doing good and they want to propel that forward. I don't think Kern was doing this because he was looking for promotion. While other people in the Empire are.
Yeah.
He truly believed that. He's like, this is the right thing. And it just unfortunately blew up in his face real bad.
Yeah. He's a true believer. That's for sure. And he seems like someone who's been manipulated, by getting this kind of, how can I say this information, this news, this stuff in his mind, sees the Empire as this kind of symbol of strength. So he wants to join the Empire, do good in the Empire so that he can essentially co-opt their strength. Because I think he's probably a powerless guy in real life. And so this is his way to kind of seek power. And look, there's a lot of mirrors between him and Cassian. Both are rebellious, both break the rules, both kind of get other people, enlist them to cover for them or to be a part of their schemes. And one has a little more direction in Cyril Karn, and one is a little more aimless in Cassian. But there's a lot of similarities between the two of them and how they're going about doing the things they're doing, which I think is just genius. So there's just so much to explore and enjoy in this series, and I'm sure there's more to come.
Loving it. So can't wait to see more. And then the other show that's also on Disney Plus, which as an editor for reactions, this week has been a week because we pulled an all-nighter to edit all 3 episodes of Andor.
Wow.
We got it all up. And you know what? I think because we were kind of not doing a lot of stuff since we were recovering from COVID, my algorithm is screwed. It is crap right now.
So is mine. Honestly, it's
terrible,
driving me insane. I'm nowhere. Obviously, with you, there's a little bit of a higher drop off because you've got way more followers than me, or subscribers. But my algorithm has been horrible. just horrible.
Awful.
So it's like, yeah.
To give everybody an example, She-Hulk episode 5 was 16K.
Yeah.
Which is pretty standard and normal. I usually like to aim for the 20Ks, but I had a feeling She-Hulk wasn't going to get there because of how many people wants to trash the show for not a great reason.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's not okay. We can get into that in a second.
Yeah.
Episode 6,
Yeah.
it hasn't even hit 10K. It is
Wow.
and Dustin said he searched when he searched because we'll do a test like She-Hulk episode 6 reaction. Our video doesn't even pop up.
Wow.
And even for the rejects, friend of the show, like for their numbers, they got over 1 million subscribers. I was like, oh, the video isn't popping for them either. So I think it's definitely a YouTube algorithm thing because those guys get views. Anything they put up, they're like,
oh yeah,
you know,
gets a lot of views. Like,
so I was surprised.
Christian says it to me all the time. If you don't get your reaction up before the real rejects do, you're screwed. You're screwed.
The rejects are fast. Greg works very, very hard.
I know. Well, I mean, it helps when you have paid editors and paid. You don't have,
But he still edits.
Okay, fair enough. I would love to. I'd love to have just an editor who's on standby for me. That would be great. I do a shit ton of content.
If you have money, you can pay the editors.
I know. Let's get to the money part first. Yeah, I'm down. And they've listen. The rejects have earned it. They've been working really, really hard for like 10 years. Yeah. To build what they've built. And they deserve it because both those guys are good guys. And they care about people.
Somebody said Streamlabs.
Oh, there's a Streamlabs. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, sorry. We forgot to talk about
hanging out. We're just catching up with each other.
You forgot.
I'll log into there and see what you guys sent. And yeah, if you want to send Streamlabs or send cheers and bits, please. I mean, we're back after a month, so we'd appreciate it. Let's see what we got here from Fatal the Baptist. Just sent some in. Thank you, Fatal. Says support for John and Wendy from Jamal on YouTube. Oh,
thank you.
Thanks, Jamal. Very kind of you.
Gosh.
That's so nice. It's so nice, Jamal.
It's so nice. Jamal left a comment on themoviecouple.com as well. Thank you. Love it.
Mr. Yasman says, yeah, man, my podcast is weird viewership. My most viewed video is Man of Steel at 4K, and my second most is Mortal Kombat at 300 views. Yeah, you just never know. You just never know for sure.
You never know. Yeah. Sometimes it's the videos you put in the least effort in.
I know.
That's why I'm kind of mad about the Andor. And I was like, I was up until 6 o'clock in the morning editing 3. Me and Dustin both were exhausted. And I was like, it's not going to hit 5K. It's not going to hit 5K. It's just really disappointing.
Oh. Yeah, I worked for 3 hours on a Don't Worry Darling spoiler review. It's about 25 minutes long. I don't think it's going to break 1,000 by tomorrow. So
the movie's just out today.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to I'm creating content. I don't care. Like, honestly, to me, it's like I've just got to keep working at the content. I'm changing the look of thumbnails. I'm changing the look. I'm making all these adjustments. So yeah, it kind of sucks that the algorithm is kind of forgetting me right now.
Yeah,
we just got to keep doing content because then eventually we'll be back up into the algorithm, and that's going to be helpful for sure.
Apparently, you can't rest a day without putting up.
Yeah, I know you can't
a video. Really. Now I get why. So my K-pop bestie Warren Thompson from Cosmic Wonder, like he literally uploads at least one video a day. And he works very hard and rejects too. So I was like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
God forbid you get sick and you can't upload. Your algorithm is screwed.
That's what I was averaging about. And that's why I told even the week I was out, the Geek Buddies did shows and the wrestling guys did the shows. So I put them up. So to have just something on the channel for a week, I didn't want to just go dark for a week. Yeah. So I was lucky with that, but it wasn't enough. Nowhere near enough. So, those are those things you got to be aware of. It's a job. It's a fucking job, people,
Work for yourself, they say. It'll be fun, they say. And you work 24 hours a day.
Do what you love. The money will follow.
The money's not there, guys.
All right. Well, all right. She-Hulk, what do you want to talk about? I think this is all you, Wendy. Go ahead. She-Hulk.
I mean, look, they said it in the show. Like, let's not forget who the show is about. And it is, first and foremost, a lawyer show within the MCU. It is the most different out of all the, like, the vibe and everything. You can say that about Miss Marvel too, but I feel like Miss Marvel still had some of that MCU element where with She-Hulk, I really don't see it. It is a girl in her 30s who is a lawyer who's trying to thrive because she is smart and she's a go-getter. But then all of a sudden she is the Hulk. She gets the superpower that she never asked for. Yeah. So she is navigating her life as a 30-year-old in LA with all this extra stuff. It is fun. I am very much the target audience for it, for sure. And I don't care. It's a fun show.
Yeah.
Is it perfect? No. Do I have little issues here and there with it? Absolutely. Am I enjoying it? Yes, especially the last 2 episodes. Like that was so up my alley. It is very Ally McBeal is very like a fun kind of. Did you ever see Castle with
Yeah, of
Nathan
course.
Fillion?
Yeah, with
It
Nathan Fillion.
reminds me of that. It reminds me of that, quick sitcom,
Yeah.
quippy back and forth. Tatiana Maslany is just a joy to watch. And the fact that it was just like a random one-off wedding episode, I
Yeah.
was cackling. Like as a woman who has had a wedding, have been invited to multiple weddings. Luckily, I've never been a bridesmaid. I don't ever want to be a bridesmaid. Friends, if you're getting married, don't ask me to be bridesmaids. I will come to your wedding. I don't want it. It's too much responsibility. I don't want to do it.
Fair enough.
I don't want to do it. That's why I only had 2.
Yeah.
Bridesmaids, because I couldn't. I was like, I don't want to make people pay for these expensive dresses and do all this pomp and circumstance. But that's just only me. If you want to have 10 bridesmaids because it makes you happy, you do you know. Not everybody's wedding needs to be the same. So when she got the box, it was funny to see like back our reaction.
Yeah.
Because Dustin's like, what's the box? And I looked at it and it said Jen on top. I go, she's a bridesmaid. She's a bridesmaid. He's like, what? And I was like, this is what girls, I didn't do this for my bridesmaids.
Right.
I think I texted one of them, do you want to be a bridesmaid? There's no pump and circumstance from
With
me.
glitter.
I was like, here's an Evite. Check yes or no. But people do that. There people, some people like to go all out for their wedding, including inviting and asking their friends to be the maid of honor or a bridesmaid. And like those kids, it's not an exaggeration. It literally is like that.
Yeah.
In real life. So like it was kind of fun to like watch that in an MCU show. I had fun with it. I'm not mad that Daredevil isn't in it yet just because they teased the helmet. He's coming. That's the whole thing. Is like we don't have to. Yes, it's going to be really fun when we finally see Matt Murdock show up in the show, right? And I can't wait to see how they're going to introduce him. And I already got a little bit of a taste of like what their interaction is going to be like because they showed us the clip from that episode in D23, and I will tell you the quality. I was like, oh, the budget went there.
Yeah,
that's what I got from that clip. I was like, oh, that's the budget. Okay. And it wasn't even action scene. It was literally a dialogue between the two characters, but it was good. But people are like mad because they're like, oh, where's Daredevil? I'm like, it's not a Daredevil show. He's getting his own series, and he's coming.
You're getting 18 episodes of him.
Getting 18 episodes of it's his show.
It's his show.
He doesn't have to share with anybody else other than maybe Wilson Fisk, right? And hopefully some of the characters that we like from Netflix. That's a whole nother topic. But like, I'm just happy that he's going to be in it because he doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
It was never necessary to put Daredevil in it. So it's a treat that we're getting him. And people are like, oh, where is he? And I was like, he's coming. Yeah. It might be the last episode. I don't know.
Probably is.
But that's
kind of launch. Yeah.
That's the formula that Marvel has followed in a lot, not all, but in a lot of these MCU shows. So it's like seeing I get really, I'm in usually a really bad mood Thursday mornings when I wake up and I check the comment section for She-Hulk.
Oh yeah, because they're pretty mean. Yeah.
They're just, and it's not. So here's the thing: is if you don't like the show and you have and you can clearly voice why you're not liking it, or you can just like sit there and say like, I get what the show's trying to do. I'm not the target audience. I'll still watch it. I don't like it, but I want to watch it because I'm, I want to keep up to date with all the MCU stuff. Sure, fine. No problem. Right. But, why do they have to make every superhero a woman? Da, 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 da. And I'm just like, then just don't watch it. It's clearly you don't like the superhero. Clearly the show you're not going to like. So like my problem is with the comments is there for a show that they clearly hate with their whole chest.
Yeah.
You're coming into not just our channel, but like multiple reaction channels and copying and pasting the same hate comment. Yeah. It's like, that's so much energy that you're putting toward this thing that you hate. Why not go rewatch Daredevil or whichever MCU character that you love and enjoy that? Like spend your time on that. Then like hate. It can't be that fun to hate on something. Like I was talking about a movie yesterday with Dustin that I'm under embargo for, so I won't even say the name. But we were reviewing it. I didn't like the movie that much, and I was exhausted because I hate talking bad about a movie, not just because it's coming from like an actor's background. Like and producing and stuff like that, you understand the hard work that it goes in to making these movies. So it never feels good for me to talk about, to kind of criticize a
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
Like I want to be like, this was so good, I had so much fun, and here's some issues I have with it. Like that's generally kind of how I want to be. But
Right.
like I straight up didn't like this movie, and I had to talk about it, and it was exhausting. So it's just like, and maybe that's just me. Maybe some people really do, like enjoy spending their time being really negative about the one thing that they probably don't need to spend time. I don't know. So I
Yeah.
was in like a terrible mood yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, people make whole channels out of spewing. I saw so many anti-Andor videos from people, and they lead off by saying they haven't even watched the show. So that's kind of crazy to me.
Wait, but how can you hate on a show you haven't watched yet then?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to me when you say, "Oh, I haven't even watched the show," or "I'm not going to watch the show." To me, it's crazy. So it makes no sense.
But I
for
have
me
to announce it to the
personally.
world that I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah. I think you can't talk about about something. You can say you don't want to watch it, but to make whole videos where you're going in depth into why it shouldn't exist,
What
and
do
that
you
you haven't even
remember?
seen it, it doesn't
Do
make
you
sense.
remember what some of the reasons they listed for why they don't want to watch it? I don't know
Do
if you
I
even watched the video.
do I remember? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
some people are talking about how they don't think Andor is that interesting of a character and should have gotten a lead. They think it's Disney going woke by having a Latino lead and a diverse cast.
Not everything is about that, but okay.
Yeah, and then they complaining that there's no Jedis or that are teased at all in
We
the
don't know that.
trailers. Yeah, but I'm saying what they're saying. I don't.
Oh, I
I'm not
see.
arguing
Okay.
for them. I'm not saying they're right.
Oh, I
I'm just
see.
saying,
Okay,
you
okay.
asked me what they're saying. That's what they're saying, and that's what I saw. And then that's about as much as I could take before I had to turn off those videos. Because I watch about 2 or 3 minutes. Because actually, I'm like, okay, because like the He-Man hate that Kevin Smith show got. I actually watched 3 or 4 videos before I watched the series. The 3 or 4 angry videos, and I was like, "Wow, is this really what the show is?" Shit. And then I watched the show, and I'm like, "This is nothing that they were arguing about or being upset about." And they had watched the show, by the way. They had watched the show, but they had taken certain scenes and then made them and weave them together to push an idea and a narrative, and left out certain things that were really essential that countered their narrative. And so I was just blown away by this. And these videos had like 200, 300, 400,000 views. And I wish I could do that. I wish I had no fucking heart in my chest so that I could do something like this and willfully manipulate people into believing that this show is pushing a particular narrative and ignoring the other very well laid out points that are countering your point completely within the story itself, and I thought it was just fascinating. And so I was just blown away by watching this. That really turned me around on all this, because I was just like, why are these people getting so many views when they're hating on the show? And then people just, there's a whole market for it,
I have no words. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dan said that was like before Ms. Marvel came out, it had 15,000 dislikes 5 days before its debut. Yeah. And you should see the numbers for Andor. They're, the first 2 episodes are only at 7.1 on IMDb. The 3rd episode gets a little bit higher rating, but like She-Hulk's at 4 on IMDb, which is really kind of shocking to see that. It's not my cup of tea. I'm not having the best time watching it. I like her. I love her. I think she's great in the role.
Yes.
Absolutely great in the role.
Yes.
There's no meat here. And I don't, when I'm watching it, I love, I love Ginger Gonzalez. She's doing a great job as Nikki.
Did you watch the latest episode?
Yeah, I watched it this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought of you when I was watching.
Because
I'm so proud. I was like, yes, Filipino in the house.
Exactly. She's so good. And I'm like, yeah, finally they're giving her more to do.
I
should
had
have
a
doing
feeling
that from the beginning. And Renee Elise Goldsberry is great as Mallory Book. She's so fantastic. So you've cast the show well. You've got great actors in every role. I mean, Jamila Jamil, I'm not the biggest fan of Jamila Jamil, so it's just a personal taste. It's nothing against her as a person. I just don't 100% like buy her most of the time. So it is what it is. But overall, the show does a great job with the casting. Well, I just don't feel that there's meat here, and even comedic meat for me that I enjoy. But I know a lot of people liking it, so I don't in any way want to say people shouldn't. So
But see,
Just
that's
not
the
100%
difference.
for me.
You're not like, bad, this show is bad, and
Right.
it's too whatever. Like, you acknowledge the reasons why you like it. You can clearly
Mhm.
communicate the reason why it doesn't work for you.
Yeah,
But your
exactly.
view on a show isn't going to be the same as the next person.
Right, exactly. Oh,
And
yeah.
so, like, yeah, it's totally okay to like not like the show. I'm not saying, oh, you have to love it. You don't. If you don't like it, you don't like it, and you can have reasons for not liking it. But like,
Yeah.
the comments don't say, they're like, it's trash. Tell me why it's trash. Tell me.
Yeah, there has to be a balance though, right? And there's a constantly constantly shrinking middle ground here, because one side of the political fence is like, oh, it's too woke, blah, blah, blah. The other side of the political fence is, if you don't like it, you're a sexist. So there's got to be this middle ground where we find we can legitimately break down movies, break down films, and
Yeah.
not necessarily be considered one thing or the other, So it's just a little bit frustrating sometimes
Yeah.
when you're doing criticism nowadays. You have to, it's almost like you
The
have to polarize
consequences
and
of
take a
social
side.
media.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Certainly learned that lesson this week. So anyway,
Oh no.
so let's take a quick oh no, let's move on to one last story here in our first
Yes.
block. And we're already an hour into the show, so we should
Yeah, I
probably
know,
get
because
going through these
this is what
topics.
we're trying to catch up from. Make up for lost times, guys.
It's true. All right, keep sending in your Streamlabs if you want. I'll be checking them, and send in your cheers and your bits, for God's sakes. Give us some love here as we're back after 4 weeks. What's our next story here, Wendy?
I thought of you when I saw this. They are making a new Karate Kid movie. And
Yes.
according to reports, this is not connected in any way, shape, or form to Cobra Kai, which possibly means that it'll be a standalone, kind of like the the Jaden Smith, Jackie Chan film, which
Yeah.
there are some callbacks to, like, little Easter eggs of, the original, but it technically does not connect. So how do you feel? Because I know you're a fan of Cobra Kai, you're a fan of
Yes.
Karate Kid. How
Sure.
do you feel about this, and what direction you think they'll go? Because there's really not a lot of information
Yeah.
on this, other than the director of Cobra Kai, or the showrunner of Cobra Kai, saying like, nope.
It's
Not connected.
confusing on so many levels, because I'm like, your next Karate Kid didn't really work that much, or else there would have been sequels. And this has revitalized your brand. So your franchise, the only reason you're getting to do another Karate Kid movie is because of Cobra Kai. So to me, that seems a bit like spitting in the face of the Cobra Kai people to not have them be involved in some way, or have not the characters translate over. And look, I'm not saying Ralph Macchio can put butts in seats anymore as the lead of a film or whatever, because obviously he wouldn't be the lead. He'd be the Miyagi training some young kid or whatever. So I don't know why they're shutting the door. And look, Cobra Kai is very distinctly what it is. Look, all those kids should be in jail, for God's sakes. So when you watch you have to suspend disbelief.
They get in a lot of fights. They
Yes,
do a
you
lot
have
of
to.
things.
I mean, they'd all be multiple repeat offenders, for God's sakes. You have to suspend disbelief. It is a fantasy film show for sure. So to do the movie, though, I wonder what the tact is. Do they go a little grittier, kind of like we're seeing with Andor? Is this a different approach? Is this next Karate Kid someone who's got a little more grit and gravel to him than Daniel did in the first film or in the Cobra Kai series? So that may be what it is. Is they're like, thanks for revitalizing the brand. We're going to go in a different direction and make this a little more of a grittier approach that appeals to modern audiences a little bit more. So we'll see, but I'm really surprised that they're not allowing the Cobra Kai people to be involved in any way, shape, or form, or have any of the characters transfer over. That is pretty surprising. At least right now, it's what we're hearing. Yeah.
Yes, at least right now. So I forgot to mention up top, I should have. I can't find the article or the place in the article, but according to, I think it was Variety or Deadline, the plot of this, they're kind of flipping it. So there's a younger character, who moves to Baltimore or somewhere, Brooklyn, somewhere. I don't remember what city. And he is the karate master. He has already mastered all the. Well, he's very good. At whatever martial arts they choose. Well, it's called the Karate Kid, so I'm going to guess karate. And there is a father who reaches out to him to help train him in the arts. So it's kind of like a flip.
Interesting. Okay.
Steve Calderon says, yes, Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn. Okay.
Yeah. So that is like a little bit of the plot that I have read.
Yeah.
Somewhere. So that gives you a little bit. So that could be interesting.
Yeah, different approach.
Yeah.
And maybe with being from Brooklyn, a dirtier
Mhm.
approach. Again, the city, a more city approach.
Yeah.
Would be interesting to see that for sure.
I just do wonder if it's confusing because of
Yeah.
Cobra Kai.
No, I know you're right. And John Hurwitz said on Twitter, the guys and I would love to make Karate Kid and Cobra Kai movies and hope to someday, but this one isn't from us or focused on the Cobra Kai cast. Don't know much about it, but wish it well. So clearly, he's aware of it and they're not involved in it. So yeah. So we shall see.
There you go.
And look, it isn't. I mean, for me personally, that series had 2 good movies and 2 not so good movies, 3 not so good movies, really. I mean, because I didn't like Karate Kid Part 3. No offense to Terry Silver fans out there. I didn't like the Hilary Swank one, and I certainly didn't like the Jaden Smith one. So for me, it's only 2 good. And then even Cobra Kai, like the first 2 seasons are good. I thought season 4 was fun. I haven't watched season 5 yet. Which I'll probably be remedying this weekend, actually, as I, tell you about how I need to like kind of relax and enjoy things. So I want to relax and enjoy that series.
Yeah.
See what I do with it. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to hopefully enjoying that one. I did cheat a little bit and see the confrontation between Terry Silver and Daniel LaRusso.
No, why would you do that?
I know. I did cheat a little bit, but I'll catch up down the road. All right, so let's take a quick break, Wendy, and we'll jump into what's trending here in the world of the John and Wendy Show. We'll be right back. While since I've heard
it's been a while.
Oh my gosh, that's nice to hear.
Yes.
All right, what's trending here, Wendy? What do we got?
Well, we got to get into K-pop corner, and this time is all about Blackpink because the ladies are back. Their comeback, their new album, which I don't know what I did with.
Okay.
Oh gosh. Oh, here it is. You can bet your butt I went to Target and I got the Born Pink album. I got all the photo cards. I really wanted the pink one, so the cover is still black, but the fangs are pink.
Yeah.
But I did a Target mobile order, like they just come out to your card. They just put it just because it's easier. Because then I spend way less money because I'm actually not in Target grabbing the things that I don't need, and $300 later, I'm like, where's my money?
Oh, is that on discount?
Oh, what? It's it's buy one get one half off.
Do you need a second one? No, but it's half off.
It's half off, so I do need it. Yes. Instead, look at this $3 candle in the dollar spot section. It's in the shape of a pumpkin. I need it. Oh, I don't just want it. I need it.
Is that a Lazy Susan? Oh my god.
It spins. Look, it'll match perfectly on this table. Put the new candle on top of it.
Target and IKEA are the worst. Oh,
terrible.
Fucking worst. I don't go to IKEAs anymore. I roll through there. If I even get in there, it's terrible. So,
but for the mobile order, somebody actually stole my entire bag.
What?
Like, the staff couldn't find it, and this album was in there, so I had to park my car, walk into Target. They didn't have any more of the pink one, so I bought the black version. I was like, damn it, man. It's fine. But yeah,
no joke. Blackpink's no joke. People needed that pink one. They took it off you.
It's the best one. It's the best one. But I mean, in my opinion, it's the prettiest one. It's all the same content inside. The photo cards are random, but it's the same CD. You get the same songs. So they had their comeback. They released 2 music videos. The first one being Pink Venom. That was ahead of their album release. The second one, I shared a link with you for it. It's called Shutdown. It is probably one of my favorite songs on this album.
Okay.
It is definitely a clap back to all the naysayers and the doubters of Blackpink. Blackpink, the members sometimes do receive, and they're not the only K-pop group that this happens to, but the girls, in my opinion, receive a lot of unnecessary hate.
Yeah.
When they're just trying to enjoy music and do what they do and have fun with, they trained very hard to debut. But so it is if you look at the English translation of a lot of the lyrics, it's a clapback. And I am here for it. So they're having a full comeback. The album is out. You can get it. This is the Target exclusive, but you can order the other ones. I think there's an Amazon one. I don't know if that's exclusive or different. And then you can order the ones from Korea. You can also download their entire album on Spotify. And on top of that, they announced their tour, their Born Pink tour, which tickets went on sale. I can't tell you, Rocha, what a mess it was to try to get
Really?
tickets. I knew it was going to be hard, but I didn't think it was going to be like this. I paid 20 something dollars on Weverse to join the Blackpink membership so you can be registered for a early bird pre-sale for the concert tickets.
Yeah. Yeah.
The early bird thing, apparently me, Laura, and Warren all tried, and none of us somehow, in the multiple links that we used to sign up, like multiple things, didn't get the early bird. We only got the general membership pre-sale.
Wow.
So by then the seats we wanted in the space we wanted were gone.
Right.
Because we had to wait, and we were going to go all out for this tour. And I didn't even get my code for for the general until 3 days after the sale had finished.
Wow.
They instead emailed me the UK pre-sale code.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I'm not flying to the UK for this. I love Blackpink, but I'm not flying to the UK for this. That's international. I'm not doing that. I need them to be in my area, not over there area. So we did something crazy, and I talked to Warren about this, and he said, let's just go all out for this. Dustin's coming to the concert because his bias is Lisa. I don't have a bias. I'm an OT4, which means I love all 4 members equally.
Okay.
Which is great to actually like not have to like be a bias focus.
Yeah.
We are going to, because the purchasing process was so awful, we are going to Atlanta to see Blackpink.
What?
It was the only way to get the Born Pink experience. It was the only way to get Barricade. It was the only way. I have to fly. I booked my hotel. I have to fly to Atlanta in November.
All right. That's close to Star Wars Celebration.
What? No.
Star Wars is like 3 months after that, 3 or 4 months after that.
In London.
Yeah. Are you going? You're flying in, right? Did you get a hotel room?
To Atlanta?
No, to London.
I am not going to London for Star Wars Celebration.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I am not. I've spent a lot of money recently. I am not. I didn't. That wasn't even in the books. Like they announced today, I go, great. I'll watch it from the internet.
Right.
I would love to cover it, but like I don't think I'm gonna get sent.
Is this the pink? Is this the pink one that you're talking about?
Yes.
That's the one.
I wanted that one.
Oh, okay.
I wanted that one. Instead, I got this one.
Okay. It's available here at my store. So maybe I'll swing on by.
Get it. Push up their sales. So yeah, we're going to Atlanta, and then I am doing, because I said I'm going all out for this Blackpink tour.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the reason why in a second. Laura and I, with a bunch of her friends, are splitting a suite.
Wow.
In LA as well.
Wow.
So I'm gonna see them twice. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, you know.
And then I'm spending no money after this.
Ever again.
Ever again. I'm eating mac and cheese and ramen noodles only. Thank you.
Well, I think it's, you know, the things. How many times do you get a chance to do this? So you know, it's go and enjoy it. Go.
I don't want to just see them. I want to be able to count their eyelashes. I want to be close.
Right.
The reason why we're doing this is because I truly feel, as much as of a devoted fan I am to Blackpink, I feel that this could be their last tour. I hope I'm wrong.
Ooh.
I hope I'm wrong, but I just feel somewhere it feels like it's gonna be their last album and their last tour.
Okay.
Maybe they go on a long hiatus. I don't know, but I just somehow feel it. So that is why we're going all out for this tour. They also had a pop-up experience. Laura and I went to it. It's hosted by Spotify. I think this past weekend.
Yeah.
It was one of the most well-run pop-up experiences I have ever attended.
Wow.
I felt like I was at an Apple event. Everybody was dressed in, the staff was black, themed shirts that said Blackpink. They all had badges, headphones. Yeah. The line was so well controlled by like not just one security, like multiple. There were like 4 outside. Good. They constantly would bring water out to the line to make sure everything was orderly, because the line extended out into the neighborhood in off Melrose. So they had to make sure that we weren't blocking driveways, that car with traffic. And so like everything was well directly, everything had a flow, and everything was timed. Like I did not stand in line for an hour even.
Oh, wow.
to go. And everybody who went got a Born Pink tote bag.
Oh, nice.
So it says Blackpink Born Pink pop-up experience. I did buy a shirt. This one's for Warren. I picked it up because he couldn't be here in LA for this one. But I bought the same one for myself, and I bought a different one for Dustin. It just got the girls on it, and it says Pink Venom. It's got the girls on it, and then I bought because I don't need another bucket hat, but it said Blackpink on it, so I bought it. And it says Taste That Pink Venom on the back. It's cute. It was fun. I'm having a fun time with this comeback. I love it.
Yeah, that's great. They're awesome. There you go. I mean, great. And the video has 114 million views. Apparently, it got 81 million views or something like that in 24 hours. So that's pretty incredible. And the song is great. The song's a lot of fun. Oh my god,
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was really surprised by how much I enjoyed that song.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Anything else on the trending that we should talk about?
Yeah, this weird thing I saw on Twitter, people were tweeting about it, and I was like, "What is this?" Apparently, people are cooking chicken with Nyquil.
What?
So much so that the FDA had to issue a warning and do not recommend anybody do this.
What?
It's wild. What is going on?
So Twitter and other sites discovered years old. These are old videos and images of people pouring blue-green NyQuil, a nighttime cold medicine, over chicken breasts in a pan or a pot.
And it started back up again.
Yeah, FDA said it would lead to consuming unsafe levels of the product, and over-the-counter medicines should be used only as directed.
It's medicine. It's not seasoning.
There have been no reports of hospitalizations or deaths related to NyQuil chicken. That's my new fantasy football team. A tongue-in-cheek recipe that first surfaced in notorious 4chan. Oh my God, why do you do anything in 4chan? I swear to God, it's mind-blowing. It's crazy, the 4chan stuff.
It's just so gross and it was so wild that I was like, what? Is this real?
Wow.
I still don't believe people. I mean, there's videos of people doing it, but I still don't believe it as much as I still at a disbelief for the people who did the pod challenge. I was like, what? Do you realize this is straight up chemical? One is a medicine, one's a chemical that you should not consume. One past the way it's meant to be consumed, which is depending on how old you are.
Yeah.
You know, it's like specific. Yes, it's over the counter, so it's mostly safe, but you're not putting a straw into your NyQuil bottle and drink. That is not the way to do it. And the cooking chicken? Have you tasted NyQuil?
Yes, recently for my bronchitis.
It's disgusting.
I know it is.
I hate the cherry it's gross. Just I have to have a chaser, like water, candy after NyQuil. I'm such a baby. What the crap, man?
All right, Wendy, let's take a look.
No.
Let's see how this works.
I have.
And usually I use about,
I don't want to play that just in case we get in trouble. Oh my God!
It's the whole bottle.
Oh my God!
That chicken has no other seasoning on it.
First of all, that's not how you cook chicken. Let's put that on the table right now. What is that? Is that some electric thing? What are you doing? Oh.
Is that what? What is? It looks like a flat iron. Is that a flat iron?
Oh, he's pouring more. Oh my God!
Guarantee you, he's not eating that. That's gonna ruin your pan.
Oh my God! Is he? Oh, of course you got to collect the residue.
No.
You got to collect the residue just in case.
What in the heck?
Oh my God. I just want to, here's a red flag. If you walk into some dude's house and he's got bottles of chicken NyQuil.
There's no way that's edible.
Oh, genius.
Even if you can't taste the NyQuil taste because it's been cooked off or whatever, like the alcohol cooked off. There's zero seeds. There's not even salt and pepper on that chicken breast. It was bland like paper.
It's very boring.
Very
boring.
Why would you pour it back into the bottle? What's the point? The properties have all been messed up. You've cooked it. You mixed it with raw chicken. And you're going to pour that crap back into a bottle? Disgusting.
I like this comment. Everyone's talking about NyQuil chicken. Nobody's wants to try my Uncle Benadryl's 1 minute rice. Ooh.
Oh God.
People are insane. We need to.
I hope people take these as satire posts.
Yeah, I hope so too. We need a war to distract people because this is honey garlic barbecue.
No, oh God, what is this world coming to? What is going on?
Oh God, the internet always wins, man. The internet just has great stuff. Just great stuff.
No.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's the perfect face. Absolutely. Oh my God. Oh, madness. I don't know. Oh man,
It's Friday,
I
that's why
went
I
down
put
a
that
wormhole
moment,
on TikTok watching
NyQuil chicken.
what's his face from the Gordon Ramsay reacting to people cooking stuff. Oh, it's the best. It's the best. I mean, I rolling for about an hour just laughing my ass off.
Huh.
What you doing? What you doing? No, what? No, that's not what. No, what? Oh, what are you, Muppet? What are you, fucking Muppet? Oh, it's just genius in making fun
that
of
I could. I feel like I could spend some time on TikTok watching that.
incredible.
Anything is better than that NyQuil chicken.
I can't wait to show. She's gonna lose her.
She's gonna smack the phone out of your hand.
She's the chef. She's gonna smack. The pouring is
abomination.
Humans need to die.
Just terrible. Absolutely terrible.
All right, let's wrap it
Don't
up.
try that at home, guys.
Yeah, don't try it at home, please. We are not advocating that just because we showed the video. We are not.
That is called what you should not be doing with your time.
Exactly.
Cook chicken by itself or take NyQuil by itself as directed.
If you
separately.
If you thought COVID was bad, try some NyQuil chicken. I guarantee it'll be worse. All right, let's wrap it up, Wendy. We gotta get on out of here. What do you recommend? What have you seen? Is there anything you are watching outside the stuff you're doing videos for?
Well, recommend wise, obviously Andor, She-Hulk, if you're into stuff like that. Oh, there's a K-drama called Cafe Minandan, which is sort of new. I just started watching it. I am, I think, 6 or 7 episodes in. Loving it. Is totally my vibe. Nice. So I can't wait to finish that and then get into a show called Little Women. I thought it was going to be based after the novel, but I actually don't think it is. So based on the trailer, I was like, I don't think this is, it's like not even in the modern sense. So, but it's the same title. But I want to. You've seen Don't Worry, Darling.
I did. Yes.
And today is the release of the film. So I thought we could just talk briefly about our thoughts on Don't Worry, Darling.
Yeah, I don't think it's as bad as some people are claiming it is. I think Olivia Wilde is a very bold, confident director. Now, you may not. Now, the story, does it 100% work for me? No, but I think Florence is great. I think Harry is getting there. Remember, he's very new to acting. Olivia Wilde was surprisingly damn good in the movie. Nick Kroll was good. Asif Ali was good. Chris Pine was really good. We didn't get enough with Gemma Chan, which is one of the complaints I made on my video. Like, we don't know what her whole impetus is. I can't get rid of Jonah from Veep in my mind whenever I see him. So it's tough to buy him in the character that he's in. But, I mean, the visuals, the cinematography is great. The score is damn good. And her performance, Florence Pugh's performance, is the reason to watch the movie. Yeah, and I can understand why some people might not like it or it didn't work for them, they're angry. But I'm aesthetically, artistically, I think it's actually a very watchable movie and a good movie, even if the story doesn't 100% work and the twist is a little bit derivative for me. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I didn't love it. I wanted to like it a lot. The trailer really got me. Like I was like, ooh, this is my vibe. It's giving Stepford Wife, but maybe a little like not Last Night in Soho.
Right.
Something like that. I was like, yes, into it. Visuals, aesthetic, the score, the sound design when things get like real weird and creepy.
Yeah.
I 100% loved. I can't sing the praises for Florence Pugh enough. This is very much a Florence Pugh movie, and she kills every single scene that she is in. As far as the film goes, it felt a little predictable and formulaic to me, which is disappointing and surprising because I do like Olivia Wilde as a director, and she wrote this as well.
She's one of the writers. Yes, there were 2 other writers.
So I was kind of hoping for something that's because the trailer made it seem like it was going to be so unique and original.
Yeah.
And it really, at the end of it, when we got to, the final act and the ending, I was like, oh, it really felt like to me an extra long Black Mirror episode. Something that it wasn't something that I haven't seen before, even with the twist. I have no complaints about Harry. I don't see what some of the criticism that people have about his acting. Maybe it stands out to them because he is amongst many master actors, Florence, Chris, Olivia, Gemma, Kiki Ling, like, so maybe that's why it stood out. But like the performance was fine to me. Or people are like, oh, he's so hysterical. I was like, I never saw that, but fine. Like maybe they're seeing something that I didn't see. But I also, by the time we got to the end of the movie, I was like, oh, I get why that she had cast Shia LaBeouf in it.
Yeah, right. It
I
makes
get
sense.
it. I think that actually would have pulled everything together quite well.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Harry wrote it, but like I'm not saying that. He was fine. He was fine. Go enjoy Harry in the movie. I would have loved to see more of Chris Pine in it.
Yes.
Because of the type of character he was portraying. And I think that would have leaned into more of like what that twist was about. I think it would have helped the payoff be a little bit better, as well as what you said about Gemma Chan. Especially in the third act, there's something. What's the motivation there?
Yes.
And without saying it, like, because like some people didn't see the twist coming. I saw the twist coming.
Yeah.
And I said to Dustin literally minutes before, I whispered to him, like, I hope it's not this. And then literally moments later, they showed. I was like, I hate being right. No, I wanted to be wrong.
Yeah.
Surprise me. So.
Yeah, I felt that way too. The twist derivative for sure. And you're right. Not enough motivation for certain characters, not enough character development for certain characters. It's okay to not do character development on the side characters if they're not going to do something big. But if one of them does something big, like Gemma Chan does, then we need to know what the motivation is, what the history is, all of that, so that we can factor in the possible reasons for why it happened. And so those are the things that stood out to me as well. So I hear you. I absolutely hear you on that.
Yeah. But like people are enjoying the film, and I love that they're enjoying it. I think it's great that they enjoyed it more than me. Yeah. I know the Rotten Tomato critics scores felt pretty low. I feel like it's a little bit too low. I was like, oh, it's not that bad. But to each their own. I haven't submitted my report, my review to Rotten Tomatoes yet, which something I am doing this weekend.
Right on.
Yeah.
Let's see. For me, I'm watching Abbott Elementary. Second season came back this past week, so please watch it, everybody. It's a really good episode to bring us back. Reservation Dogs season 2 is humming along just fine. Really enjoying that. Is there anything else that we? Oh, my girlfriend has
thoughts on The Woman King. I haven't seen it.
Oh
yet.
Yeah, Woman King is fantastic. Oh my God, I loved the hell out of that movie. And so I would encourage people to go see that movie over Don't Worry, Darling, for sure. If you're choosing between the two, I think you're going to be satisfied much more with Woman King. Viola Davis is incredible. I mean, we're used to seeing Viola play these character actor roles and, putting on weight, losing weight, whatever. Here she is like full on badass warrior, and her natural, how can I say this? Her natural energy is one of, absolute power, and that comes through as you're watching the movie in certain interactions, and she delivers such an emotionally raw performance from beginning to end that is just so much fun to watch. So I know Michelle Yeoh might be the odds-on favorite. I know some people talk about Cate Blanchett for that new film Tar, I think it's called, but don't forget about Viola Davis, man, because she is so good in this movie. They give her a hell of an emotional journey to go on as you watch the movie. It's not just her being badass. There's a lot of emotional stuff that she's navigating as well. So highly recommend that one. Yeah.
Love it.
Oh awesome. Yeah. AZ, good suggestion. Yes, I am watching The Patient, which is also fun. Steve Carell and Domhnall Gleeson. Domhnall Gleeson is a serial killer who has been seeing this therapist for quite some time.
Oh.
And he wants to get healed, and he knows that he can't tell the therapist what he's doing in his office. So he kidnaps the therapist and ties him to a bed and chains him to a bed and keeps him hostage so that he can do the therapy in the house. And the whole time you're just like balancing this idea of whether is he doing this therapy? Because if Steve Carell can't fix him, is he going to be the next victim? or is this going to take another turn? But it's really well done.
Oh,
Two-hander. It's 2 or 3 people are in the show total, and it's a lot of conversation, and I really enjoy it. So yeah,
I love that.
yeah, absolutely. Anything else? No, I think that's it. All right.
That's it.
You guys have yourselves an awesome time. Thanks so much for joining us here on the John and Wendy Show. Thanks for the stream. Oh, we had one bit here. Sorry, from AZ Badfish. It says, way late to this party. Time change throwing me off of my routine. But thank you. He resubscribed at tier 1 for 8 months in a row. So thank you, AZ Badfish.
Thank you very much.
So we appreciate it. All right, Wendy, please let people know where they can find you, even though we talked about it earlier in the show. But please let people know where they can find you and everything you got going on.
Yes, thank you so much. You can find me across all social media at just my name, Wendy Lee Zaney, and that's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. On YouTube, you can find me on the Movie Couple channel doing the reactions and the reviews and all that stuff. And just recently launched themoviecouple.com. So please go over there and show us some love.
There you
Rocha.
go. Give it some love, ladies and gentlemen, please. As for me, you can find me at The Rocha Says on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. The Outlaw Nation here on Twitch. Of course, I say that because I'm going to put this up on YouTube later. So, and if you want to go and subscribe to me on YouTube, it's youtube.com/John Rocha Says. Go and subscribe there. Trying to get to that 25,000 subscribers mark. Come and help me, people. Come and get me over that hump for sure. And look for more content coming out over the weekend from the channel for sure. We're going to have a She-Hulk spoiler review tomorrow, the Strong Style Wrestling show, and then possibly something on Sunday as well. So keep a lookout. Keep a lookout for everything we got going on. All right, y'all take care of yourselves. Be well. And we'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode of the John and Wendy Show. Peace.